Hey, hi, and hello. If you clicked on this reading, then there is a message meant for you today. And if you don't know who I am, hi, hello. My name is Zach. I am the Crystal Coffee Witch on social media and the New Moon Owl here on YouTube and also Facebook. This is going to be a universal message for the general collective. Whatever it is you are trying to pick up, the universal messages, your ancestors trying to get a hold of you, your spirit guides trying to get a hold of you, whatever message is coming through, you might not be 100% certain on some of those, and hopefully this reading will add some clarity for you. If you would like to vibe with our little tribe and join our little nested family, I would appreciate it, and do consider subscribing. And if you don't, you're totally fine. No big deal. I send love and appreciate absolutely every one of you, subscribed or not. Each pile will be time-stamped, just depends on which vibe it is that you were feeling here. Today, I went ahead with no pictures and no crystals. Instead, we did some trinkets. So for pile number 1, we have a compass. For pile number 2, we have a feather. And then for pile number 3, we have a tiny little airplane. If you're not exactly sure how to do this, like I said, timestamps are going to be in the description box, so you can pause the video and see whichever vibe it is you are drawn to in terms of pile 1, 2, or 3. And we're going to go ahead and start with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1, if this is the one that you were drawn to based on pile number 1, or if you were curious because of this little compass trinket, then we will see what universal messages and your ancestors, your guides, are trying to let you know about. I have the feeling that your guides are trying to let you know that a lot of your power that you're trying to step into, a lot of things happening for you specifically, like a lot of things you're trying to convey, a lot of like plans that you have, you're trying to execute. We've got, a lot of things moving forward, a lot of things happening. But there is something that you're still trying to walk away from, or there is a situation you're needing to walk away from. The Eight of Cups is all about there's something happening, something's not super great for you, something is just emotionally draining to the point where you feel like you have no spoons left, absolutely nothing. Everything is super just like no energy left at the end of the day. And the Seven of Swords is talking about someone not being very truthful. This could be another person, or this could be a situation where you yourself are not being super truthful, potentially with the situation or with yourself as well. The Empress embodies all of the queens. So like I said, there's a lot of plans that a lot of you are making and a lot of things happening. For some of you, it is a situation of a lot of those plans you were making could have involved another person, things moving really fast, things like that. It could have involved another person that led to distrust and things not being super great, things not being mainly as truthful as they should have been or they were in the beginning. So then that led to some heartache as well. But I have the feeling, because this was something jumping out at you pretty quickly, the universe is trying to let you know that whatever emotional situation, whatever it was that wasn't super truthful, or you felt like it wasn't as advertised, if you will, you're going to be able to move past this, because at the very beginning we do have the Empress, and also at the very top we have the Knight. This is all about moving, like I said, movement, things happening, things moving quickly. It might have led to a situation where, you weren't super happy about the outcome, but you're able to get back to this point. You're able to refocus your energy and be able to move, not super quickly, but you're able to be smart about it. We have the swords here, the spears, talking about being smart, talking about being able to plan. The page is a planner. They are the person that is, able to go from, here's a plan, I've written everything down, now I'm executing it, you do it perfectly kind of situation. The Empress is also embodying that as well. We're going to go ahead and put some other cards down. I definitely drew several for you guys. There were a lot. There were a lot of cards for you guys. They kept trying to jump out, so I had to shuffle many, many times to make sure that they were where they were supposed to be. Let's scooch these around a little bit so they fit in frame. So we have the unicorn down here, and then we also have the hawk. This one jumped out twice, so this one was clearly meant to be here. I thought it was a fumble at first while shuffling. No, it is meant to be here. So a lot of the energy that is around you, the unicorn and the hawk. The hawk, I find it fascinating, like the color scheme matches these two main cards that are kind of screaming at me here with the Empress and the Knight. The color scheme is very much similar with the reds and the yellows, a little bit of orange, then black and white. So for a lot of you, a lot of times you see things in black and white. And then we have the unicorn here, the unicorn trying to tell you maybe some of you are needing to see something a little bit more colorful. And also for some of you, it could be because, you're always the planner, you're always the person who is seeing things so much in black and white. It could be the unicorn popping up to let you know that it's okay to be playful. It's okay to be in touch with your emotional side. Some of you may not necessarily be in touch with your emotional side for whatever reason. You get frustrated because, every time you are trying to get things planned out, it doesn't go your way, and then it doesn't pan out quite the way you thought it would. So then things don't quite go as originally as advertised, like I was saying. The hawk is also about attentive to detail. So like I was saying, a lot of those planning people that are watching this, I feel like a lot of you are probably going to be fire signs or earth signs. And I feel like that kind of balances things a little bit. We have unicorn up for a lot of people. This card helps to represent water, but it also represents spirit as well. And then the hawk is air. The hawk is also a little feisty, so the hawk also does represent fire too for a lot of people. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's that balance, right? It's that balance between, like I was saying, that black and that white, but also adding a little color splash here and there. So not necessarily literally in terms of color, but I feel like for some of you, it's going to be more on, you see things in black and white, you see things how they are, but also could be for some of you, you might need to listen more. Maybe some of that emotional energy is being directed at you, but it's not your energy itself, if that makes sense. So sometimes we have all of these grand plans and then it doesn't go how we thought it would because energies and feelings started to come up. For some of you, it could be a situation where your feelings got hurt or someone else's feelings got hurt. Things weren't quite how they thought they were going to be. You didn't think things were going to be that way or whatever. The hawk is attentive to detail. The unicorn is talking about your spirit being a little bit more playful. I feel like for some of you, that playfulness is going to be directed towards you, being a little bit more understanding of yourself, your emotions, understanding that it's okay to have emotions. And for some of you, this is an emotion towards other people. Understanding that it's okay to be emotional with other people. You don't have to keep bottling things up all the time. And it's not a situation where you are constantly like, I have to do this, this, and this for myself. You're allowed to ask for help. I feel like for some of you, you don't really ask for help very often, which is something that could be a bit of a learning curve for you. You learn to ask for help, learn to figure out things with someone else's help. And I know that for some of you, that's not what you want to hear. These jumped out. So I have these moon cards here. These jumped out very, very quickly. So we have the full moon in Virgo with You Are Good Enough. We have faith in your dreams with waxing crescent moon. And then we have a new start is coming with the new moon. Okay, I'm really absolutely fascinated with you getting kind of one thing and then the other. And what I mean by that is you have a full moon and then you have, it's going towards, like, technically this would be backwards. I had the new moon over here, down over to the full moon, but you have a transition period. And for some of you, I feel like that transition period is going to be a learning curve, some about yourself, some about other people, whatever have you. But I feel like for a lot of you, that learning curve is 100% going to be, how do I learn about myself? How do I learn about other people? The message that is being conveyed to you is, How do I be emotional with myself and other people? For a lot of you, how do I incorporate, more fun? The phrase from The Shining just popped in my head, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy kind of situation. So for some of you, maybe it's taking a break. Maybe it's incorporating the unicorn spirit to be more playful, to be not so, spearheaded towards your goals. Even though you're a good planner, you're an amazing thinker, you know how to plan things from start to finish. But maybe it's a situation too, because you are good enough. Whatever emotional situation that happened, know that you're still good enough. Have faith in your dreams because a new start is coming. It pretty much is like a plan, right? A lot of you are planners. A lot of you are big into, how this is supposed to go from start to finish kind of situation. So you are good enough, right? For some of you, you are, like I was saying, earth signs. Earth signs or fire signs. A lot of times Virgos are, and I'm a Virgo, so I feel, Virgos are overcritical of their own choices and decisions, and a lot of times of their feelings as well, because feelings can be rude. And we have faith in your dreams. Whatever dream it is that you're wishing on, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, it's coming. Your universe, your world, your spirit guides, everybody is trying to convey to you that new start is coming. It might not seem like it because everything keeps seeming like it's falling apart. Things don't necessarily seem like they're happening the way that they're supposed to, but they're happening in the plan that they need to, right? These also jumped out at me. These are going to be animal spirit cards. These were jumping out at us too. So we have the Badger Spirit with Be Fearless and Bold. We have the Frog Spirit with Clear Out the Clutter. And then we have the Koala Spirit with Spirit Has a Plan. Okay, so I don't know what these cards are when I draw them, and I absolutely love that Spirit has a plan because, like I said, you feel like things aren't going how they're supposed to. Things aren't happening in the order you thought they would. It's coming. There's a plan. You're the planner. You're the one who's used to, like I said, writing things down from start to finish, chronological order. You are in charge of your life itinerary. But at the end of the day, it's also a situation too where you do have to put faith into the universe. You do have to put faith into your spirit guides. You have to put faith into your ancestors and everybody else, your spiritual team. You have to put faith in them as well. They are here to guide you. They are here to let you know what's going on. For some of you, I feel like the compass is also representative in terms of the tarot with the Wheel of Fortune, because you keep trying to push it. You keep trying to turn the wheel. You keep trying to force it to go in the direction that you want it to. But sometimes all of the good things are still happening in this area here, and eventually you'll get to this new area, even though you keep wanting to turn it, right? We have this big old circle here, right? We have this big old circle. You keep wanting to turn the wheel, and there's still things right here that you still need to learn. A new beginning is coming. A new start is coming. Spirit does have a plan for you. With the Badger Spirit, be fearless and bold. I feel like for some of you, if you haven't embodied the Empress Spirit, regardless of your gender, it doesn't matter your identity, your self-expression. If you haven't embodied, all of the elements type of situation, right? You're planning, attentive to detail, accepting the fact that you do have emotions, and also acknowledging those emotions and helping move yourself through. Like I said, some of you aren't happy that you have emotions. It makes it very much challenging for you to accept that, but also clear out the clutter. For some of you, this could be physical, like an actual spring cleaning type of situation. Get all the clutter out. Whatever doesn't make you happy, whatever doesn't feel like it's fulfilling to you, move past it. And this can also be a moment of therapy in terms of removing the clutter from your mind. Because especially here, like I said, you are enough. You are good enough. because a lot of you don't feel like you are. A lot of you are feeling like you should be better at this or better at that, but a lot of you are having to recognize that you are good enough. You are able to be in charge of yourself, even though you don't necessarily feel like it. And this card over here, we have little brother, little sister, with siblings, younger friends, responsibility. So for some of you, a lot of that emotional turmoil, a lot of that stress is coming from potentially taking care of a younger sibling, having a younger sibling that relies on you for a lot of things kind of moment. But for some of you, it is developing the relationship that comes with having a little brother or a little sister kind of situation, right? A lot of times we have that best friend who feels like a sibling. Maybe it's a younger sister or brother going through those emotions and going through those experiences you've already been through. So you're helping to work those out with them. For some of you, that card won't resonate at all because it's not a situation happening with you, but everything else does. If someone doesn't like you, if someone is trying to start things and be rude and constantly say negative things towards you, protecting your energy, understanding that you're able to stand up for yourself. If they say that you're not good enough, know that you are. A lot of the clearing out the clutter, I feel like for most of you, is going to be emotional, is going to be spiritual, and it's not necessarily a physical clearing out the clutter, although it definitely can be. And if it's a situation where you need to clear out physical clutter, then get rid of stuff. But I feel like for most of you, it's going to be an emotional clutter clearing because of the fact that you are having second thoughts about a lot of your journey. You're having second thoughts about a lot of decisions that you've made in life. You're having second thoughts about a lot of things that you've decided to do, whether it's start your own business or go ahead and, enter that relationship. Some of you are making life choices, and unfortunately some of you dealing with someone who's like, that's dumb, or I wouldn't do it that way. And you're dealing with this negative person kind of constantly yak-yakking in your ear, and it's not helping your emotional state, it's not helping your confidence level. And knowing that you're enough, knowing that you are able to count on other people, like I was saying, it's okay to share emotions. It's okay to have them. Sometimes they're messy, sometimes they're crazy, sometimes we don't want emotions because that's a lot to handle. But at the end of the day, it's okay to still have them. It's okay to understand that what you are doing is good for you at this time. We don't have to listen to other people constantly telling us what we should and shouldn't do. There are times where we do have to make decisions for ourselves and understand that those decisions are going to have, really, really good things, and sometimes something not so good might come from it, but you won't know until you try. We're going to start throwing some dice. These white dice are going to be things that are coming into your life. It could be a synchronicity number. It could be a date. It could be a birthday, something along those lines. This is something that needs to come into your life. Whatever grand plan it is that some of you have or most of you have, this could be the day that it starts, or it could be a number popping up for you for when it starts kind of moment. But this is something that needs to happen. We have 2, 2, and 3, okay? So for some of you, the number 7 is significant. For some of you, not so much. It could be anything of that origin. 7 is a lucky number for a lot of people. Like I said, 7 could be synchronizing itself. 7 could be throwing its weight around in your life. But then also, too, we have the 7 over here talking about someone being negative and things like that. So it could be a moment, too, of maybe pay attention to if there is someone that's negative, maybe that's a little conversation you need to have with them on, hey, you're being negative and I don't appreciate it. These black dice are going to be something that needs to be taken out of your life. This could be a situation of, something that's just not good for you. It could be the date that it leaves your life. All right, 1, 5, and 6. Fascinating. Okay. So that does equal 12. Well, It just depends as well, because 1212 is also like a repeating number that people see a lot when big changes are happening in their life. So that could be a situation where that is another thing too. These red dice are going to represent something love romantically in your life. So it could be also a situation of, you meet the love of your life, or your life gets changed around. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic interest. This could be, I absolutely love this part of my life. This is the best part of my life that has happened yet, and everything is going amazing. All of my manifestations are coming true. This could be the day that that happens, but usually these do represent someone coming into your life and making things just a little bit better and happier. Okay, 4, 4, and 5. Okay. So that is kind of a little interesting to me, because I've got a double over here and then a double over here. So for some of you, a lot of those things happening are going to happen, like all the good things, I should specify. The good things coming in, the happy times moving around for you. That's definitely going to be a moment of one after the other, but it's not going to happen super, super fast. That's very interesting. That one does also equal 13, which is, for me, a lucky number, and for some people, they're a lucky number as well. But some people consider that, because it's not a number that necessarily repeats itself, but also if you want to fall into it, 13-4 kind of moment, we do have 4 repeating here. So it could be a moment too of maybe 4. Here we have 4D, 4 could be a number that starts to repeat itself when it's a moment of maybe a new person coming into your life that's going to make things a little better and happier kind of moment as well. And we're going to start throwing these, well, not throwing, but putting down some of these letters here. This could be a person's name, it could be an acronym, it could be your initials, anything like that that could be popping up for you. That's going to be something relatively significant and something that's going to be happening. Okay, I just realized this. Be fearless and bold is the card number 4. Now, I do love that, and the reason that I love that is because a lot of you are having to embody these 2 messages. You are good enough and be fearless and bold. A lot of you are having to embody that, and I absolutely love that. And let's see. There's, woo! Okay, these went everywhere. All right, so we don't actually have any repeating, which is fascinating. So, oops, that was an E. There's a W. There's a C. There's an N. I don't necessarily see, anything. I see Ned for some of you, that could be. I do see wed as well. So for some of you, maybe you're getting married. Maybe that is going to be a situation of that number coming into play, right? That thing happening. Maybe some of you decide to get married on Friday the 13th for a little extra pizzazz. But it's a situation where some of these are going to resonate, some of these numbers are going to resonate for a good chunk of you, and sometimes it's not going to be resonating with anybody until it's happening. So you might not see anything just yet. This is a lucky die. This could be a situation where this number starts to repeat itself at the start of all of these others, and it could be a situation where this is just going to start repeating itself when you really need to pay attention to a certain message. You're like, hey, hello, I'm here, kind of moment. People are trying to get your attention, your guides are trying to get your attention, and this could be the number that starts to repeat itself. We have 3. So the 3 could start repeating itself when you're needing to pay attention. I know that for me personally, the 3 does start to repeat itself when I need to pay attention. I get 333, and then I get 444. So it's kind of one of those moments too where that could be a thing for a lot of you as well. It just depends. But I'm very curious to know how this resonates with you, how much resonates with you. If it is a situation where you are needing to recognize that you were good enough that is a situation where, like I said, clearing out the clutter, understanding that, you are enough. Go do some therapy, go do some shadow work. Your guides are letting you know that your plans, the things that you're planning, they're coming, things are happening, things are moving, things are changing. But it's a situation too where just because it's not everything is happening right this very second doesn't mean it won't ever happen. You just need to let things come into your life as they do. And until next time, pile number 1, this is what I have for you. These are your messages. This is what your guides are wanting you to know. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. If you were drawn to this pile, this one was trying to let you know that this is the message for you, or if you were just curious because of the feather charm itself, then your guides are trying to let you know something. And right here, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things going down. There's a lot. So there were 6 cards that decided to jump out for you, and the World card was one that kept jumping out twice. It jumped out twice. So it needed to be here. It wanted to be here. This was a situation where this one was supposed to be important. This one needs to be important. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Empress. We have the 7 of Wands, Chariot, 3 of Pentacles, and then the World card. That's a lot of movement. That's a lot of change. Your guides are letting you know that all of the things that you are manifesting is going to come, and it's going to come quick. So we have the Queen of Swords, planning, things starting, making, those plans, those changes, whatever have you, making changes in your life to make room for new things. If you haven't started doing that, you might want to start doing that. The Empress, here specifically, we do have on this particular deck, she is with a baby, but then we also see the Empress in itself. Not all decks represent her that way. And I feel like for this one, doesn't necessarily mean that for all of you. But the Empress is embodying spirits. The Empress embodies all of the queens, right? She embodies all of the elements in order to manifest what she's wishing and what she's desiring to come into her life. We have the 7 of Wands. Now, for this particular deck, it's a little scary because we see all of these shadows coming at you and everything like that, and it's a little crazy, it's hectic, it's a little bit too much to handle. But also at the same point in time, the 7 of Wands is like a movement card, right? The 7 of Wands is like something's going to come into your life, and it's not going to be the direction that you thought it would, or it's not going to be exactly how you planned it, but it's going to be really, really close. Then we have the Chariot. Chariot talks about everything happening, and it's going to come quick. We see this eagle swooping down, and everything's just going to be right there, pretty much fall into your lap simultaneously. We have the 3 of Pentacles, talking about balance. We have this crazy swirl in the background, but then we have the 3 apple slices. Things are going to be balancing themselves out, but also a lot of times too, that's, represented in a triangle for mind, body, and spirit. This is another reason that I read that card that way, is because it's talking about balancing your life. For a lot of you, you're balancing your life, you're moving. Things are changing because you're starting to balance your life out. You're starting to incorporate things in a very specific way. And then we have the World card. Like I said, this one wanted to be heard. This one jumped out twice. Because originally I was only pulling 5 cards. This one kept jumping out, so he needed to be here, or she needed to be heard. So the moment of needing to let you know that your world, everything you're wanting to come into your world is coming. Things are moving. You're going to notice things kind of rapid fire one after the other, and it's going to happen to the point where it's almost scary how quick and how accurate your manifestations are going to come to you. These are going to be some animal spirits that are with you and trying to get your attention here. I'm going to have to scoot that a little bit. There we go. And frame. There we go. We have the hummingbird and the otter. So for some of you, because this is representative of air and water, some of you are air signs listening to this, some of you are water signs, and for a lot of you, it could be a moment too of just directly with the hummingbird. At the time that I'm filming this is very much winter, so for some of you, you're dreaming about all of the colors and hummingbirds and everything like that. You absolutely love hummingbirds. And we have the otter, very much a water creature for sure. But also the otters are very family oriented as well. I have moon cards here. And these moon cards are fantastic, right? So we have here, it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. So for some of you, you're kind of harboring, it's like, like this is kind of perfect actually with this card being kind of shadowy. You're not necessarily harboring shadows, but there's a lot of shadows that you feel are kind of surrounding you all the time. Seems like no matter what you do, everything is just always surrounded by you kind of situation. Releasing that negativity. And for some of you, that is what you're needing to cut out of your life, holding this queen here. That's what you're needing to cut out of your life, is a lot of the negativity, a lot of the self-doubt, things like that. A lot of you are needing to come into your emotions type of situation. We have bring love into the situation with the new moon in Aquarius. Okay. So I never look at these cards when I draw them. I never have any idea what these cards are until I place them down. So there's just as much a surprise to me as they are to you. But bring love into the situation, I feel like, is quite perfect, especially with Aquarius. Some of you were born, your moon sign might be in Aquarius. For some of you, your moon sign might be in Scorpio. And I feel like it's one of those moments too of you have a full moon and a new moon. I feel like it's going to be that full cycle kind of situation where, everything's going to come full circle. And I love that because the world, it's all about things changing and moving. It might seem scary. It might seem crazy. And for some of you, like I said, that new love could be a new person. For some of you, it's new love in a new way. So what I mean by that is some people, are not looking for love. They're not trying to find love. Absolutely not. And then they literally physically smack right into it. Sometimes it's emotional smack, but sometimes you just whack right into it and you're like, oh, well, this is a part of my life now. And it's one of those things where the universe is bringing you what you need. Your guides are trying to let you know that you're not alone in this craziness. You're not alone in this world. They have your back. Your spiritual team has your back. But at the same point in time, there is, for a lot of you, new love on its way. Maybe that person has their moon in Aquarius kind of moment too. So it could be, this is you or them with the moon in Aquarius. And for some of you, it's you or them with the moon in Scorpio. And I feel like it's one of those moments too. Like I said, it's full circle. This also is kind of a yin and yang kind of moment if you want to look at it like that, because we have the full moon and then we have the new moon. We have a lot of the crazy, energetic, and just super, just out there energy, right? And then we have the new moon over here with calmer and more collected and less out there energy, more introverted kind of energy, if you will. And I feel like for some of you, that is that person that's coming into your life. You might be super extroverted, they might be super introverted, or vice versa. And for some of you, that's going to add that balance. That's going to add that extra bit of, I absolutely love this type of thing. You absolutely love this person, because opposites do attract. Does that work for everybody? No. But it is a moment too where opposites do attract, and it does make for very interesting moments in relationships. A new love doesn't necessarily have to be a new love interest, although that is very much the vibe of what is happening here. A lot of you are going to be rapid fire with a new love, a new person coming into your life. That new love, if it is a baby situation, that new love could be loving your child kind of moment. It could be a situation where there is a child involved. Let's say that you're single and you end up in a relationship with somebody who has a kid. New love. And then I have these spirit animal cards. These are very much the cards that you're needing to pay attention to. These numbers up here could add to synchronicity, but we have the dove spirit with be peace. This I feel like is for a lot of you, you're not necessarily super peaceful with yourself. You're not necessarily super peaceful with, your emotions and things like that. For some of you, like I was saying, with this shadow situation happening, some of you might, I need to move this. some of you might not necessarily be ready for that conversation. And for some of you, you're going to need to understand that as well. So we have the rabbit spirit up there, 49. And then now is the lucky time. I love this card. It's just adorable. But also I feel like for a lot of you, that lucky time is going to be happening because, like I said, things are going to be moving. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of things going down. There's a lot happening that you're not necessarily thinking is happening, but it's kind of working in the background, right? It's happening, but you just don't realize all of the things coming to you quite yet. The last one we have is the eagle spirit with spirit has your back. I love that you've got this, and this is also an eagle. I don't know these cards. I absolutely love it. The way that they pan out is so perfect. That's number 23 up there. So eagle spirit has your back, okay? So with the eagle and spirit having your back, I'm going to put that there just because that seems like that one needs to live right in the middle. The eagle spirit has your back, right? The eagle themselves. For a lot of you, you might be randomly drawn to eagles. You might be suddenly seeing eagles everywhere. Okay, I just realized this clicked here that we have the feather here. I absolutely love that. So for a lot of you, it is a moment of the eagle coming in and the eagle letting you know, I have your back. Things are okay. Things seem absolutely crazy, or you don't necessarily seem like anything's happening right now, but your spirit guides are letting you know that it's happening, it's moving, things changing, right? You got two eagles. I think that's something that needs to be paid attention to. Your guides are trying to let you know. Your guides outright also could be a eagle, right? Some of you do have an eagle spirit guide. Some of you are very drawn to the eagle spirit, whatever that may be for you specifically. The eagle, especially where I come from, is very sacred and is very much a situation of when the eagle comes to you and lets you know it's going to be okay, I've got your back, things are good, things are moving, things are happening, things are moving in a good way, things are changing. Things are going to happen in a way that you probably didn't think it was necessarily going to happen, but it's still going to happen. You need to pay attention. Things are happening in the way that they're meant to. You might not see it right now because you're just kind of like, well, you know, if everything's happening right now, how am I going to pay attention to it? You'll know. It's okay. I'm going to scoot this down. Actually, I can't because I want those to be visible. Well, the last card is this one right here. Whoop. With the delicate fairy and her ferrets. Change is natural, good, and yes, it can hurt. Okay, what was I saying about change? What was I saying about things moving? I kind of don't want his little face to be covered. Things are moving, happening, changing, developing, whatever terminology you want there. But like I was saying, it can be messy. For some of you, it's a moment of being peace, bringing that emotion back to yourself, being okay with your emotions, however you want to look at that. That number is 24 as well. Was that also 24? Oh, 23. Ooh, okay. So for some of you, it is that lovely progression, 23, 24 kind of thing. And I feel like that's definitely a situation of your spirit guides are really strong, you guys. Like, there's just this overwhelming feeling of like almost being hugged, which is kind of adorable because the otters are known for just being cutesy and hugging all the time. Like, that's how they show their affection. They're really big huggers. And for some of you, you are a hugger. You are 100% that person that's like, I give hugs to everybody. I love everybody. I give hugs to everybody that I care about kind of situation. And that's absolutely amazing. The ferrets specifically, I feel like it's a moment too of, I feel like ferrets really do have that cuddly dynamic. They're super cuddly, right? They're super adorable. But also the message there with change is natural good, and yes, it can hurt because there is a moment for a lot of you that you've been through a lot, right? You've been through craziness, you've been through hurt, you've been through things that don't feel good. And all of this momentum, all of this movement, all of this change that's happening, that's going to happen. Like, let's say you're not ready for this one particular thing to happen. You're like, I can't do that. I'm still working on myself. And your spirit guides are behind you. They're like, okay, work on this. But when you get to a point where you feel like you're ready for something else or for this one thing that you're trying to say you're not ready for yet, when we feel like you're ready for it, we're going to give it to you. So for some of you, it's not right this second that everything is going to happen, and it's going to be a little bit later on. But for a lot of you, it's going to be rapid fire. And I feel like it could be a moment within like probably 3 months. Everything is just going to feel so real, so crazy real, super just like one after the other. And you're just like, okay, well, wow. And it's a good wow. It's going to be a good wow. Things are crazy, things are happening, moving, and changing, but it's definitely going to be a good wow. Some of you might not feel like it. Some of you are like, I don't want things to change. But change is good. Okay? Change is good. It's natural. It's okay for things to change. It doesn't necessarily mean things are going to fall apart. And I absolutely love what this lucky little rabbit spirit over here is, because it's a lucky time, right? I feel like for some of you, you might be drawn to the rabbits themselves. You could be Year of the Rabbit, if that is something that you pay attention to. And I feel like it's a moment too where this is your year, right? If you're watching this at the time that I'm filming this, it's at the end of the year kind of moment where we're coming into a new year. It could be a moment of, this is your year, the year coming up. Things are going to happen. All the manifestations you've been working on for the last several months, they're all just going to rapid fire come into your life one after the other. And I'm going to roll some dice here. These are dice that are going to, the white ones are going to represent things that are coming into your life in a good way, right? These are things that need to happen in your life. Something coming in, could be multiple things. It could be a date, a birthday. It could be a number that starts synchronizing and repeating itself. Something along those lines. This needs to happen. I love that it's a oh my gosh. Okay, I love when it does this. 1, 2, 3. I love that. The reason I love it is because it's that progression. Like I was saying, things happening one after the other. Rapid fire, things happening. It's going to be a little quick. It's going to be a little crazy. You're going to start noticing things kind of just one after the other. I feel like a lot of you should pay attention to your manifestations. What have you been wishing for? What have you been dreaming about? What have you been sitting there being like, this is what I need to incorporate into my life. This is what I want in my life right now. Write them down. That way you can sit there and like have a list of be like, I asked for this, this, and this. And just check off the list as they go kind of moment. I feel like a lot of you are going to be able to check off the list as your manifestations come in. Pretty quickly even. This is going to be something that doesn't need to be in your life anymore. And it's something that is going to make an exit on one way or another. All right, so we've got 2 6s and then a 2. So for some of you, a lot of what's going to be moving into your life, it does add up to 14, which is kind of fascinating. I'm trying to see if I see any 14s over here. I don't think I do. So there's no 14 making its presence known already. But I feel like for a lot of you, the momentum happening and things happening there, like I said, it could be a situation where the 14th could be the day that you leave your job that you absolutely hate, your boss doesn't appreciate you, and your coworkers are all a pain in the butt or whatever, right? So it definitely could be a moment of 14 being something significant, or it could be something where, you know, you could see twice 6 and 6. What I mean by that is maybe it's a moment where you're going to see the 666 number, which for a lot of people is a number of like rest and breathe kind of thing. I've always had that number repeat itself when I need to take a break, or I need to breathe, or I'm trying to do too much at once kind of thing. It could be a situation where you're going to see 6 repeat itself twice, and then things are going to start happening and moving forward. The number could be something very specific. Like I said, it could be your birthday, anything like that. It's something that is significant, but also something that needs to no longer be with you because it's not giving you any happiness. It's not something that's serving its purpose for you. Something needs to scoot out of your life. And then we have the red dice. This is love. This could be a love interest or anything along those lines. Usually does represent something on the romantic side. And like I said, because there is new love coming into your life, this could be the day that it does. And we've got 2, 4, and 5. Okay. So 2, 4, and 5. Let's set you right there. Anything's possible when it comes to love, and that sounds kind of corny, but that's kind of the phrase that's kind of screaming at me a little bit. It's kind of over here in the corner being like, hello, hi, I'm here. But that phrase is, I don't know, there's something about it. There's movement. There's happenings. There's things, winds of change, right? That phrase is one that periodically kind of yells at me. And we got the eagle spirit, so I definitely feel like it's a moment of things moving and happening, things definitely coming into your life that's needing to. I'm going to be grabbing, okay, that's so many of these, oh my gosh, okay. So we have these letter dice here. This could be a name, this could be an acronym, this could be someone's initials or anything like that. Anything popping in. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything for anybody, and then sometimes it means something for someone, or it makes sense a little bit later on. Oh, good grief. Okay. So we've got 3 R's. We have an A, we have 2 O's. There's a V. I'm going to scoot these up a little bit. H, U, 2 V's. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm not going to rearrange these, but right off the bat, I do see Harv, like maybe someone's nickname if you know someone named Harvey, or if you're dating someone named Harvey, whatever. I do see Roo, R-O-O. Roo could be like someone's nickname or anything like that. Could be your nickname, could be a nickname of somebody that you know. Like I said, I do see Harv, which I know for a lot of people when their name is Harvey, they just get nicknamed Harv for a lot of people that they're close to. Like I said, it could be your initials in there, it could be your partner's initials, the person coming into your life, their initials could be in there, anything like that. I'm not seeing anything off the bat that would be anything else. So I don't think there's anything else in there, or at least that I can see. But then again, it could be something else for you later on too. This is going to be a lucky dice. This could be the number that starts to repeat itself before all of these start to make sense or anything like that. But this could also just be your lucky number that you start to notice this one number itself. So it definitely could be something significant for that. So, and it lands on a 6. Okay. So yeah, I definitely feel like because that also, like I said, that adds up to 6 as well. So for 6, or for some of you, 6 is going to be a very significant moment. 6 is going to be a significant number. Could be someone's birthdays on the 6th. Could be something along those lines. Could be the number that just starts to repeat itself. Like I said, if 666 is starting to repeat itself for you. So if it is a moment of you needing to rest, recharge, just relax right now, then I feel like you're needing to do that. That way you can have the energy to keep up with everything once it starts going. Because once it goes, it's going to go, and it's going to go really, really fast. Pile number 2, this is a lot, but at the same point in time, I'm very excited to know if this resonates with any of you, if any of the numbers, there's anything in the letters that you see as well. I get very, very entertained, and I do love reading people's comments when they say, oh, I see this, or I found this in the letters. Definitely let me know if there's anything jumping out at you. I definitely do love hearing from y'all. All right, pile number 2, this is what I have for you, and until next time, I will see you again. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. If this is the one you chose based on the number 3, the universe wanting to let you know what was going on, this pile giving you a certain vibe, or if you're curious because of the little airplane charm, I can let y'all know that there's some things happening, right? Y'all have been through it. This Two of Wands, it's a lot of, I feel like for a lot of you, it's a lot of crossroads. Like a lot of things like, I could take this path or I could take this path. And for a lot of you, you feel like you keep making wrong choices. A lot of you have pulled up a lot of walls. You're being super cautious. You're kind of looking over your shoulder a lot. But we do have the Ten of Swords, right? The Ten of Swords is, you've been through it. You've done a lot. There's been a lot of work that you've put into your hardships. There's been a lot of work that you've just done. There's been a lot of energy that you've extended towards a lot of things in your life. And at that same point, the 10 does represent a close. There's something coming to a close. We have the Two of Chalices, the Two of Cups. There's something to celebrate. You know, there's a moment to celebrate. There's something happy going on. But then also at the end of the day, there is some inner work that you guys will need to do with that Hermit, with that Holy King. There is something that is going on for you. There's a moment, there's something that you've been working on. There's something that you're like, okay, I'm making this decision and I'm making this decision. For some of you, it's standing up for yourself. For some of you, it's putting boundaries in place, you know, making sure that people understand those boundaries. And then it's leading to these moments, right? Leading to that inner work, leading to that moment of celebration that you haven't necessarily had the chance of having quite yet because you haven't had the moment. You haven't had a moment to yourself, which also does make things kind of crazy. I have animal spirit cards I'm going to put down here. The first one we have is the bear. Put him in frame. There we go. And the next one I have here is the lamb. Now, these are both earth cards. And I feel like for a lot of you, your earth elements, like your birth chart. Birth charts are very interesting in terms of what you can find out about yourself. It's a little crazy how accurate those things are. And if it's a situation where you don't know your birth chart and you're very curious about it, then definitely give it a peek, because you might learn some things about yourself that can lead to that inner work, that celebration, and being able to move on. With the bear specifically, the bear is strong. For some of you, that is being a parent bear. You know, mama bear, papa bear, them bear. You know, it's about being a part of that family and that connection. With the lamb specifically, that is an innocence factor for a lot of you. Like I was saying, a lot of you are needing to come back to yourself, come back into, you know, a moment of kind of crawling back into your brain. That way you can work on yourself, better yourself, understand that things that you're wanting to do and achieve as a person in general is one of those moments where you should be able to do that. You should be able to be comfortable with someone to still work on yourself and be the best version of yourself that you can be. And for a lot of you, that person that you have right now that is trying to be that for you, they're trying to let you know, hey, I'm here for you. You know, I want to be with you and I want things to be like, you know, super happy and everything. And I feel like it's a moment where some of you are needing to listen to that and let that person come into your life. Let that person know that you might still be working on yourself, but at the end of the day, they are genuinely trying to help you as well. I have some moon cards here. We have your commitment is being tested with the first quarter moon. Now, commitment to this person, but also commitment to yourself in terms of if we're talking about a relationship. I'm putting that right next to the boundary card, and the reason for that is because a lot of times when our boundaries are being tested and things like that, it makes it challenging, especially for some of you dealing with another person, especially if you've entered into a new relationship or anything like that. You're kind of, you know, going inward and being like, okay, Do our ideas really align? Do we want the same things in life? Is this something that I want to be long term? Kind of feeling things out as you go. And sometimes when our commitment and our boundaries and things are tested, the first instinct is to bail. We're just like, nope, I don't want to do this because, it's testing me and I don't like that. But sometimes being tested can be a good thing. And we have adjustments are required with the third quarter moon. That one I feel is purely therapy, right? The thing that you're needing to also do is communicate. Communicate with this other person, whether it's a romantic interest or just a best friend. It could be a family member. If you're dealing with a person that's driving you up the wall, or a moment where you're just like, I really just can't handle this person right now, right in this moment, dig into yourself. Why is it that you can't handle this person? But then also communicate. The earth signs, if you are an earth sign, or like I said, if you have a particular part of your birth chart that has an earth sign in it that might need a little bit more attention, some of you might have your Mercury in an earth sign, your moment of communication, right? How you communicate. If you're communicating to this person and they're not listening, then that is something that needs to be addressed. That is a boundary that needs to be addressed kind of moment, right? I have other animal spirit cards that I'm going to put down. The first one is going to be Panther Spirit with Reclaim Your Power. Okay. Now for some of you, reclaiming your power is going to be extremely important. Because I feel like some of you haven't done that yet. For some of you, that is a moment that you're needing to take for yourself because you're needing to express your power. You're needing to express your boundaries. That's number 44. You're needing to express how you feel. But also reclaiming your power is also rebuilding boundaries that you might need to put in place. If there's a boundary that you're needing to put it in place with another person, that is also taking back your power in the same way. So then we have the Wasp Spirit, 64. Sometimes life stings. Well, that's just rude. So there are moments too when it comes to life not exactly being quite like we want it. We're not exactly 100% confident with that one particular thing. Maybe we want things to be a little different or whatever have you, right? And then we have the Turtle Spirit. Turtle Spirit, 62. Slow and steady wins the race. So I feel like for some of you, a lot of you are kind of having that moment of being like, I want things to be really, really fast. I feel like for a lot of you, slow and steady wins the race, and the reason for that is because also the bear moves very slow. If you're watching this at the time that I am putting this up on YouTube, then we are entering winter, and we are very much full-blown in winter right now because we have quite the storm happening outside. And I feel like for some of you, you feel like you're in a storm. You feel like you're stuck and nothing's happening and nothing's going and nothing's moving forward. For some of you, that could be what's being tested at the same time. But the bear also takes a moment to hibernate and takes a moment to just chill. The bear is just like, what's up, dude? I'm here. I'm going to do my own thing. But the bear is also very protective. And we have the lamb as well. I feel like for a lot of you, the bear is also protecting the lamb in terms of being protective of your inner child, being protective of your inner self. That could be a situation too with that going inward and recognizing a lot of things about yourself, a lot of things about what your boundaries are, a lot of things that you might not have discovered potentially otherwise. There's a lot of things that are coming to an end, but I feel like for a lot of you, it can also be a beginning with what is coming into your life here very, very soon. And the last card that we have here, if I can do it, there we go. Pose brave flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. So for some of you, you're terrified or scared in some way to start this new thing. For some of you, that's maybe looking inward and starting some therapy, doing some shadow work, something like that, and that scares you because it is terrifying to learn about yourself, protecting your inner child, things like that. It is scary. It is a lot to handle. Sometimes life does sting though with this wasp here. And for some of you, slow and steady wins the race is being gentle with yourself, being more kind with yourself, understanding that because things are happening and things are moving, things are changing within yourself. You know, some of you have just put up walls and be like, nope, we're not doing that right now. But some of you are needing to break those walls down. Some of you are needing to recognize that a lot of your power comes from understanding yourself, comes from understanding where you come from as a person. A lot of you are able to really see that a lot of the life changes that have been happening over the last several months have been scary, whether that's starting a new job, moving, starting a new relationship, what have you. A lot of these new things are scary. I feel like for a lot of you, you're in that headspace of, I want things to happen now, and you're being told to slow down, being told to take a break, to chill. Things are going to be moving, things are going to be happening, but you're so used to it happening right this second because you want it right now. But I feel like a lot of you are being told to just chill. Take a break, take a breather, slow down. It's okay to rest. It's okay to breathe. It is okay to, be with yourself and be with the people that you love and be around positivity and be around positive people. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do that, especially right now. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to rest. And for a lot of you, you feel guilty about taking a rest or taking a break. Be more gentle with yourself. We have this Two of Wands here. We're needing to, even though we feel like, I have to make this decision or this decision, sometimes you just need to sit with the choice and say, okay, I can either do this or I could do that. Which one do I actually want to do? Which one is going to help me more? Which one am I going to be happiest with? But I feel like for a lot of you, you're needing to be more careful towards yourself, like more gentle towards yourself. Be understanding of yourself. A lot of things in your life has been kind of scary and things like that, but I feel like for a lot of you, it's a moment of coming into yourself, reclaiming your power. You're not letting fear stop you. You're not letting the fear slow you down this time, because I feel like it's a situation where a lot of things were kind of rapid firing and a lot of things were being really, really scary, whether that's a new person or a new life choice. And things were really scary and you didn't want to do it because it was scary. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're just kind of like, okay, you know what? We're just going to roll the dice and see how it goes kind of moment. And that's really good because you're stepping into your power at the same time. And speaking of dice, what I'm going to do is roll the dice I have. And these, if I can grab them, these white dice here are going to represent good things coming into your life. It could be a really pivotal, big thing, or it could be something a little bit smaller, but definitely good things coming into your life. Could be a birthday, it could be a number that starts synchronizing itself or repeating itself or whatever. And we will definitely see the good things. Okay. This one landed on a 5. So we have 2, 4, and 5. That would have been fantastic if it was a 6, but 'tis not. But 2, 4, and 5, okay. So it does add up to 11, so 11, 11 could repeat itself or start to repeat itself around the time that things start to make a little bit more sense. Maybe you're seeing 11, 11 right now. The black dice are going to represent something that does not need to be in your life any longer. It is something that does need to leave. It is something that is just no longer good for you kind of situation. Something is needing to exit out of your life, and this is going to be potentially a number 223, okay? This could be just something needing to be known to you in whatever way possible. 223, fascinating, okay. It could be the date specifically or anything like that. Something happening potentially with 7, or it could just be 2 and 2 that you just keep seeing repeating. You could see 2s repeating itself 3 times, anything along those lines, right? And then we have here, lucky dice in terms of love. This could be something like a romantic interest or anything like that. If you are dating someone at the time, this could be like a really pivotal moment for the two of you, a really big happy moment. Or if you're not dating anybody, then this could be the moment that you meet the one or anything like that, right? This does represent really happy, good feelings and things like that. It usually does represent another person, but not always. Ooh, 556, okay. So you did get 2 5s over here. Like I was saying, those are matching up a little bit, but it's not anything too terribly crazy. But I am curious if those add up to anybody's birthday or anything like that, especially because that is 16. So I'm definitely curious if anybody knows anything that's jumping out at them for that reason. We're going to put down some letters here. This is so many, my lord. They all wanted to come out and talk. This could be initials. This could be acronyms. This could be someone's name outright spelled out, what have you. But I'm curious. Whoop! They just went everywhere. So let's start getting these all out here. Like I said, this could be someone's name. This could spell almost anything. Okay, I see pet. That's just me. So I do see pet right off the bat. That could be someone's pet. It could just be absolutely like, maybe you get a pet and that helps you, with your therapy, that helps you be more gentle with yourself, anything like that. I don't really see anything, but definitely let me know as well if you see anything in there. Yeah, because I'm not seeing, okay, I also see let. There are other words as well, but I just see let. That one is kind of yelling at me right now just because let you be yourself, basically. So I feel like that's also a moment as well. I'm very curious what you guys see though. But here we have a lucky dice. This is a number that could just start repeating itself. Like I said, we have a few repeating as well. But I'm very curious what this is going to be, if this is anybody's birthday or anything like that. This could also just be, like I said, you start seeing this number right when all of these things start happening. So sometimes, okay, it lands on a 5. So 5 could be a very significant number for you. For some of you, it's already a lucky number. And for some of you, it is a number that could potentially become lucky. It definitely just depends on where things roll for there. I'm very curious to know if there's anything that you guys see that's resonating right off the bat. Some of you are going to click with almost everything, and some of you are only going to click with a few things, and then everything else will start to fall into place a little bit later on. It definitely doesn't have to click right this second, especially with all these letters. I know that some people have to play around with those, but it's definitely a situation where some things you're going to click, some things click a little bit later on, and sometimes everything clicks all at once later on as well. But then pile number 3, be more gentle with yourself, please, okay? This is what I have for you guys. Be nicer to yourself, and definitely understand that you are allowed to take a break and to rest. Bye.